So, first of all, since we need a relationship between
Have you rolled
each of
those
us.
dice, John?
Yeah, it's been rolled in the centre.
I did it earlier.
So I'm going to put down a relationship card between myself and Hannah, and I am going to go for 6, which is soul.
Soul.
Means you've got some sort of common experience.
Perhaps we were both attacked by a pond.
Well, we get to define that, don't we?
Cool.
So, now it's your card. Obviously, you've got relationships, locations, items, yada yada.
Okay. Just have the yuck.
Okay, let's go put that in as a bottom up. That's where the play set starts. The McMurdo Antarctic ice station playset.
I have one of them 5s and we'll be at Mactown Science.
That's a location, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Does it say about what type of place it is, or it just says Mactown?
It just says Mactown. It's science building of some sort.
Okay.
So I need a relationship to carve down. Or we need an object or a need. Or a needs. Can't have that one, there's no 6s.
The rest is one out.
Didn't really want it anyway.
Who's got a need to get laid?
Okay, I'm going to go for number 5 to
What's
get to the truth.
Okay.
You can't handle the truth, Hannah. When you reach over and put your hand in a pile of goo that used to be your best friend's face, you know about it.
Oh, so that one's a 3, there are 5s there.
Yeah. I'll still that one, right? Okay. So back to me then. Quality.
What?
I'm going to define the specifics of my relationship with Hannah's character. I'm going to go for number 3. We were the ones who found the body.
Nice.
I love it.
I was reading that, I was like, come on, let it be a 3 then. Okay, so it's back to you again.
Is it?
Oh no, it's not. The Joe wasn't talking to you.
Sweet.
What are babes?
Sweet cheeks.
Ooh. So don't forget, you still need to have a relationship to my character and to Hannah's character.
I'm going to have a friendship with John.
Okay, so that's just friendship, isn't
Just
it?
friendship.
Mm-hmm.
It's a number 2.
Okay, so we've got 3s, 5s.
And don't forget, we need to add a detail to all of these to put mine. So, because mine's already got a detail.
But don't we have to lay out all 6 of them before we...
Oh yeah, we do. I'm just saying we have to put a detail.
So the other 2 that we have to lay out are relationships between Carvel
And your character.
and me,
And then we've got
and
another thing that we could put in.
an object.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn it, there's no 2s.
Remember, you don't have to define the object if you don't want. You could define more detail about that friendship between me and John. You could add the detail to them.
I'll put a different relationship between me and
Yeah, that needs to be defined. You don't have to be the one to define it though.
Okay, I'm going to say that me and Carvel have a community relationship.
Okay.
Number 5.
You said that was number 5, yeah.
Yep.
Back to me.
Back to you.
I'm going to take this 6 here, I'll put it on that need to get to the truth. And we're trying to find out the truth about the locked room in B142.
Nice.
So we still need a detail for those 3. And then we've got one other light scene to go on, which is a thing.
Bang a 5 on that friendship relationship for us, John.
Right. Okay, apparently me and
Keep
John,
it secret, keep it
apparently me
safe.
and John are fuck buddies in this go.
Oh, it's you again, isn't it?
No, because I want to carve out the shoe.
Ah, of course, sorry, anti-clockwise. So, me and Carvel are... Is that a 3 or a 5?
3, 4, 3, 3.
So... Okay. The Navy Electronics Shop in B165 on location.
Don't forget we need a thing. Okay, and you said that was a 3.
Yep.
Okay, so that comes back around.
Leaving Carvel to define the relationship and the two of
Assuming I don't get there.
one of you to define the relationship between us, and one of you to
do the
define
things.
the object.
And then someone else to detail it.
Yeah. Or fill in whatever's left.
Right. I'm going to define the object. I'm going to define it as transportation.
Is it a spaceship?
That's a 3. So there we go, so it's over to you.
So the relationship between me and
You either got to define that or define that. And obviously whatever's life goes to the other.
3 or 4.
I noticed that you've called the object a thing.
This is what it's called in there.
Oh.
It's got to be a snow machine, hasn't it?
For the thing.
Yeah.
Snowmobile, is it?
It just says snow machine,
Okay, that's cool.
which means that Hannah and I, not to take it from you, but you've got 1 dice left.
Oh no, it's
Yeah, a community event organisers. So what we organise, we've been trying to organise some sort of quiz or something like that to keep people on the station like sort of active and not at each other's throats. Or a
rather
raffle.
than a quiz, let's say we've been doing a movie now.
I love the fact I know we're in the Antarctic. Let's have a little quiz. That'll cheer you all up. Who likes fractions?
That's how I roll, John.
We've been doing a movie night.
Movie night, that's a good idea. We've just finished watching like this really ridiculous like Western movie.
Yeah. What we do is we get like one good film that we can just about afford to pay for, and then we get like 3 or 4 shit films that we know they can't afford to sue us for showing them in our little mini Arctic cinema that we've built out of shit that we've appropriated from the electronics shop in B165, where one of us works in some capacity.
So what sort of characters are we thinking of playing? I was thinking of going for the sort of like the mechanic, you know, like keeps the stuff running on like the base. So you've got to have a living mechanic, helps miles from anywhere.
I'm going to be some sort of Bones-esque scientist.
Yeah, what's your character name going to be?
Prohibition Brennan.
Hergenberger.
Flurgenbergen. Dr. Hildegard Landstrom.
Nice. Okay, so we've got Dr. Hildegard Landstrom, who's a female scientist on the... How about yourself?
Okay, I kind of want to call my character Lieutenant Friendzone.
That's pretty a bit.
But that's the kind of character I'm thinking of. This is like, I've tracked down this female scientist that I sort of fancy a bit. I've set up this fucking film club with her in the hopes that it'll eventually like get me into it.
Oh, so there we go.
Meanwhile,
so there we go.
she's only interested in your character. And
Well, we've not got a relationship going. We're just like fuck buddies. It's, you know,
Yeah,
we're still miles from anyway. We've got needs.
I Lieutenant Friendzone, have taken you, whoever you are, off for like a little quiet walk to try and have a discussion about this, because I think you're fucking with my friend's like heart.
Don't forget, we're not
really
defining scenes yet. We're just like talking about characters and playing.
That's how we found the body.
Oh, nice. So what's your character going to be called then?
Lieutenant Friendzone.
Do you want a lieutenant in there?
Yeah, because I'm working in the Navy electronics shop.
Okay, so you just need a name then.
Steve...
Goldstein.
Okay. Lieutenant Goldstein.
Not Flurgenbergen.
Who has a major crush on Dr. Hildegard Landstrom.
Okay, I'm going to call my character Chad Roberts, is a mechanic.
Chad. Do you know what I like about you, Chad? The fact that you wear a tool belt but you couldn't spell it.
Are you a Navy mechanic?
No, I'm just saying that he's one of like the locals who's like sort of learnt on the job, as it were. He's not like qualified in any sort of specific sense of means, but he's got quite a knack of keeping machines like ticking over. So they've hired him because they're like, well, we don't want to be like sending out to the main base every time like a look or something goes wrong. And then we start with the scenes. So again, it's as previous. You either establish or you resolve. And at this point, we're giving the dice away. So since I'm starting, I'm going to say we cut to a scene before the body's discovered. It's Dr. Landstrom giving like a scientific talk.
Sorry.
Giving like a scientific talk to some of the other scientists on the base, talking about something they've like recently discovered, which is housed in like the locked warehouse in B142. Now at this point, Lieutenant Goldstein, obviously as a military person who would be in on this, is there, but not.
No, I'm just some pleb that runs the electronics shop.
All right, okay. So I'm gonna say you're just there because you're hoping to catch like Dr. Landstrom's eye.
All right.
Obviously, you're not really in on all of the sort of details about what's going on. It's all quite a hush hush. But sort of the scene picks up as this talk draws to a close, and that Landstrom's coming off the stage.
So, I can say, without fear for my reputation, that unequivocally we may actually have discovered a missing link. Exciting times, people. Thank you.
Thunderous applause. A few people stand up and clap.
Oh, Lieutenant. How do you think I came across?
Absolutely brilliantly, as you always do.
Yes. I'm not sure people truly grasp what's actually going on here, but hey, do you want to get a drink later? We'll have a chat. I've got some plans later on this evening, but yeah, we can have a chat.
Sounds amazing.
We'll talk more about moving on. I've got an idea for trying to bring a couple of anthropological movies that wouldn't actually cost us anything, but it might actually improve like people's overall understanding of things that we're facing with these current new events. I'm quite excited.
You're so clever.
Yes, that's an unnecessary statement. You're quite male, and I'll punch you on the chest.
And I think that's why we could possibly like fade out with maybe a slightly sort of like expression on the lieutenant's face. He's obviously realised that like this drink's not anything, it's just you being like a friend where you're like, yeah, put it there, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you guys have got to decide whether that's a positive or a negative.
That's one of those, isn't it? Maybe we need to just play it a bit more to see where the relationship's actually going.
If you want to carry on playing the scene.
Is this just like a nice, or does she get a bit stalkerish? Could that be like something that happens later where she feels the need to follow, or does she? Is it like
does he get a bit stalkerish?
Yeah.
Well, decide for yourselves now.
Right, so
is he going to get a bit stalkerish?
So we'll cut to later on. I'm turning up
he
for a
is going
drink.
to follow the two of you as you leave the pub.
Well, I'll turn up
Watch
later
where
on.
you go.
You're meeting me for a drink. I'm turning up. Is there anything like I need to be aware of as I'm turning up? Have you bought me anything, or not? That's easy.
I've
on a
got
fucking
you
ass-
whatever, some gadget that'll make your projector work better. I don't know enough about this shit, but I'll be telling you about how fantastic this gadget is. And
Oh, that's very considerate of you. Yeah, that must have taken you a while to find on Amazon. That's fantastic.
Amazon don't deliver out here. This is Navy issue.
Navy issue. Have you been misappropriating things for me, Lieutenant? I'm not making you into a bad person, am I?
It is best used here for you.
Yeah. How are the stores at the moment? Somebody said that we've run out of soup, chicken soup. It's not really that much.
Rumours like that.
Oh, we haven't run out. Oh, that's a shame. I don't like chicken soup.
Don't be a panic.
I always thought we'd probably run out of that first. No, probably run out of that last because nobody will eat it. Oh, here he is. Hey, Ched.
Hey there, Doc, how's it going?
Yeah, not too bad.
I'm sort of walking past with like a clipboard that I put down the table. Just got this requisition order here for you. We've just got the last batch of supplies through before the big storm comes in.
Have you met Lieutenant Quatermass? What's
I
Lieutenant
believe the
Goldstein?
requisition order goes to the quartermaster.
Oh, right. Well, so I was just told to bring it in. There they go. These are the last supplies we'll be getting in, Lieutenant, before the big storm comes.
Oh, so you've got to go and collect those now?
No, I've got them all squared away in the.
Well, if you go and collect those now, and then I'll just hit the hay, maybe have a shower. Probably take me about an hour.
He's not the sharpest tool in the box. Chad just sort of like looks at you like, what?
So you're going to need some help with that, right, Lieutenant? Okay, you big boys, go and sort that stuff out, and I'll just go back and have a shower. And I say, take me about an hour. So if you have any problems, feel free to pop by.
At which point he's like, oh. He's like, yeah, I'll be sure to swing by and give you like the full lowdown of exactly what we've dropped off. And how interested you are in that, Doc.
Cool. And I'll
he's
see
got a big like shit-eating grin on his face when he says it.
I'll see you later, Steve. Now, you have a good night, and I'll kiss you on the cheek. Frustratingly on the cheek.
Okay, so positive or negative?
It's fairly negative for Steve Goldstein.
I also
Whose
think
turn was it? It's your
my
turn.
turn, yeah, it's
You're
the first
also winning that.
No, because I choose to give it to someone, remember, because it's the first one.
Right,
you just choose if it's positive
I'd
or
say
negative.
It's fairly positive for you two.
I'd say it's a positive outcome as well. So we're positive or negative in terms of individuals or the storyline.
The story.
So in terms of the story, it just sets up that nice counterpoint of the third wheel. So I'm going to go for positive with my vote.
Okay, I'm going to take the positive dice and give it to you, love.
Cool. So then it's Carvel's scene.
For my scene, I'd like to establish a scene where you've been looking down that list, and you've just got to go and collect some shit. Now you're looking for you need a storeroom, and you're good planning. So you think I'll plan the storeroom space before we bring in the shit. No point in leaving it in hallways. We've got to dump it somewhere to store it. Oh, there's according to your list, there's like it's locked. Sorry, there's this storeroom B12, whatever it was.
142.
B142. Might go and clear it out.
Might I make a suggestion there as well? I was going to suggest that perhaps that if I'm still sort of like with you looking at giving this requisition rules, that's when we find the body.
That's why, yeah.
Rather awkward silence as we walk down to this storeroom.
You see that like Chad's like fairly oblivious to it. He's like a good-natured guy, but he's not the sharpest like spanner in the box.
Where Goldstein looks like he's about to speak to Chad a couple of times, but doesn't actually say anything.
Chad seems like entirely oblivious that Steve Goldstein's got any feelings for
from the door,
Dr. Landstrom.
Before we notice what's on the door, I stop and I say, "What are your intentions towards Dr. Landstrom?"
I look a bit confused and I'm like, Lieutenant? Like genuinely seeming, because although he's not like say the sharpest tool in the box, he's not deceptive.
You toying with her affections.
He says, "What do you mean? What are my intentions, Lieutenant? We're stuck here, miles from anywhere. She's a woman. I'm a man. We've both got needs. That's all it is. No one's getting hurt or anything. It's not interfering with our jobs. What's it matter? We both know where we stand."
That's right. They've already done the bad thing.
We're not holding any delusions that we're going to like retire and get married after this. You know, we're just people thrown together.
While this conversation's going on, we've now got to the doorway, and there's various biohazard stickers on the doors. And I take out my key because I'm listening to this conversation. I've not really looked at that. Put it in the lock and turn it.
I'll say as the door like opens and swings in, Chad abruptly stops speaking. You can see he's like, maybe you've looked back to talk to him as you turn in your key. You can see he's like staring past you, like a look of shock on his face.
I'd say on the floor there's like a tarpaulin wrapped like fucking shape. Humanoid sized shape. There's like a patch of water all over the floor. It's got like a pink tinge to it, so there's like blood within the water.
Okay, so as you turn around, that's what you see.
Okay. I would like to say that we go to lift up the tarp. This is someone we both know. Someone who maybe handles the ports, which is why you know them and I would.
So as you pull the top off, I'll go, shit, that's Nancy who does all of the sign-ins at the loading dock. Well, what the hell is she doing down here? This is a restricted area. Even I haven't got clearance to be in here.
I'll be checking to see whether or not she's alive.
She's
Clearly,
dead.
we're finding the body, so she's not.
Yeah, she's dead. I'm going to say that there's like a single like gunshot wound in the body, in the chest. Obviously, hit her in the heart or something along those lines.
Okay, now, this is also where the specimen had been stored, clearly. Is the specimen here or not?
Well, we get to decide like whether it's a positive or a negative. So,
Well, I think the specimen's gone.
okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm down with that. So,
I'm not going to say whether it's come to life
so
or been
I'm
stolen.
going to say we look up and you had like a climate controlled sort of like cylinder, almost like sort of plexiglass cylinder, big enough to have like this missing link in and keep it climate controlled and everything. And that's been smashed and it's missing. So I think that's a fairly sort of negative point because someone's died, the thing's missing. So who do you want to give the negative dice to?
I could give the negative dice to her.
Okay, so that was Carvel, so it's you, Hannah.
Do you want to resolve or establish?
I think I want to establish again.
Okay.
The scene I want to set up is Dr. Landstrom
Wearing it.
going over her video
Oh,
of
I bet.
the specimen so that we get a bit of a look at the specimen in its ice, and at some point
So the
shortly
day before.
after, well, she's looking at her videos of the day before when
Oh,
she
right.
gets the knock on the door from the two of us, because I've realised that it's her project, that it's gone missing.
Yeah, and I've just been sort of like dumbly following you along because I'm still like in shock about seeing Paul Nancy just like ventilated. I didn't know anything about the specimen. I ain't bothered about that. I've just seen someone in
In that
shock.
case, can I
The
say
radio
that
tower
as I
is
open
not
the door,
working
I'm
as
actually
it
wearing.
often does, and therefore you're the next most senior person that I'd need to report this
Okay,
to.
so as we open the door, what do we
As
see?
you open the door, or as I open the door rather, I'm wearing just a negligee and I've got like "Hey handsome" on my lips. If I do stand there, it will just die a little on my lips. Hi handsome, Steve. How are you? What's this about? And I'm just pull a robe from behind the door and just quickly cover up.
You might want to get dressed.
I'm sorry,
The
behind that.
specimen's been stolen.
I'm sorry. Nancy's been killed!
What? Come in. Right.
I said as you walk in, you maybe see like a pair of like Chad's like mechanics overalls like already in there, like thrown over like one of the chairs that he left on a previous evening.
Why did you go home without your
No,
overalls?
I
He
won't
was
say
drunk, he'd been
anything
showing a bit of
because
moonshine, he
after
staggered off in his pants down under
awkward
the base.
politeness, I will have covered my eyes very clearly and simply stand just inside the door.
Oh,
Obviously,
Steve,
you need
come
to
in.
shut the door.
I'll shut the door. Don't be a prude, Steve, for goodness sake. You're like a brother to me. And I'll just quickly whip off the robe, whip off the legs. I'm wearing panties, so it's just like breasticles. I'll just whip off that straight on with like a woolly top. Polo neck styling.
Okay, Chad obviously doesn't cover his eyes up, but he still seems a bit dumbfounded. He's like, we went to one of the restricted rooms, and when we opened it up, there was like glass everywhere, and we found Nancy. It looks like she's been shot.
Never mind, Nancy. What do you say about the specimen's gone?
What specimen? What are we talking about?
The specimen.
You should take you blankly.
This, I'll point over to the view screen. I'll play the video. It'll be a video of me, like over like this creature, like of humanoid sort of shape, in ice. So it's quite obscured, but you can see clearly the edges of the ice. Like there are hand sort of shapes, but instead of like fingers, they're just like 4 long talons.
He's like, I don't know about any specimen, Doc, but there was something like that. But it was all like smashed up, and there was glass everywhere. I didn't see anything that looked like whatever that is, though.
Okay, Chad, you've obviously had a bit of a shock. You know where I keep the brandy.
He like heads over to like a little sort of like medicinal chest,
Right.
takes out the brandy and starts pouring himself some.
Steve, have you tried to raise Captain Rogers?
The radios are down. You're the next most senior officer.
You hear me in the background go, oh, that'll be the big storm.
I'm just a token officer. I'm not an officer. I'm
You
a
hold the rank
scientist.
of commander. That puts you in charge right now.
Okay,
What we need to do is get hold of everybody in one place, see if anybody else is missing, see if anybody else is hurt, see if anybody knows what's happened.
Good idea, Steve.
Is the specimen a biohazard?
Tests are inconclusive at this point. When ice interacts with any bacterial agent, it actually sends it into a period of stasis and doesn't kill it. So with the melting, I have no idea.
While you're giving your little science spiel, I will grab the bottle from you, take a glug, and my character's been like facing towards the wall, but now notices the mirror on the wall and blatantly just watches you putting your top on in the mirror.
Okay. So was that my scene?
I just did one. We're going anti-clockwise. So
Yes, no, that was Hannah's. Was that Hannah's scene?
Yeah, because we've got two
Yeah,
guys on the table at the minute.
That's your scene.
Okay.
Right, yes, and I decide one of you to get it.
Well, we have to decide if it's positive or negative first. I
Well,
reckon fairly negative, to be honest.
okay, explain.
Because I'm thinking Nancy's been shot, the specimen's gone missing, we can't get hold of like the captain, big storm coming in. It's setting up that sort of like air of menace.
Negative. All right, sold.
So, which of us gets the dice?
I think probably Carvel, because
Okay.
Chad didn't really do much in that scene.
That's absolutely fine. Okay, so we've done that. So now we're going on to my scene. Now I'm going to set up a scene. I'm actually going to set up the scene like a couple of days later. It's in the midst of the big storm. There's a huge like blizzard raging outside the base. All traffic and like communications has been cut off. And over the last 2 days, we've found like a number of other people also shot. No sign of the specimen. And it's whittled us down until there's just like half a dozen of us left. Everyone's getting a bit edgy. Like I said, we've got like another sort of like 3 or 4 bodies that we found. We've maybe put in a cold store with
A couple of beers.
with Nancy and all the various dead companions, and it seems like we're slowly being whittled down. And this is basically we've all sort of gathered like in the mess hall, which is where you were doing your movie nights.
Can I say that Dr. Hildegard Landstrom has discovered that what we initially thought were gunshots are actually some other type of wound.
So I've got like one of the bodies like on one of the tables, like in the canteen in the corner. I've refused to go and do it in a theatre. I'm not going to be on my fucking own.
No.
There's people dying. We've all decided we're going to stay in the same fucking room. Steve, Chad, come here. Chad,
Doc?
tell me. Bullets, and they pierce flesh. You think the heat from that will create some like charring?
I guess. I mean, I'm no expert, but I have hunted a few things in my time, and yeah, they've always got like powder burns and whatever.
Steve, look at this. Look at this. Do you see anything like vaguely resembling burn? There's no cauterization to this flame.
You're right, it doesn't look like a gunshot. What is it, animal?
No, check this. I pulled this fluid out of the bottom of one of the wounds. Now I have like a small vial of orange fluid.
What is it?
What is that? Blood or something like that?
This is an electroscope. It magnifies currently
What
to 50
colour is the liquid?
orange.
Cool.
This is 15,000 times magnification. And I'll show you on like a view screen.
What are we looking at, Doc?
Right, you see these here. Now on the left, that's healthy human blood cells with the circular donut shaped.
What are those spiky things on the other side?
This is this fluid. Now look, I'm going to just match these two fluids. And look, what begins just to happen on a cellular level. And you'll see the spiky things slowly start to like fucking mutate the red blood cells.
It kind of looks like them spiky things are turning the round ones, so they're like them.
Can I suggest what would be a good outcome for this scene? Will be as we're discussing that, you're like, so what do you think it ultimately does? The body that was like lying down
I was actually thinking that myself.
just stands, like sits bolt upright.
Okay, so do you guys think that's a positive or a negative? As we're like,
Let me review that question, John. Chew it over.
it's down to you guys to determine if it's positive or negative.
I'd say it's a negative.
Seems pretty negative to me.
Okay, I'm going to give you the dice, Carvo. So you get a little dice. And then it's on to your...
I'd like to resolve the situation.
Is it?
We go that way round, it's just been job.
Yeah, I set up that scene. I give the dice to Carvel, and now it's Carvel's scene. So, okay, so if you're going to resolve it, I'm going to suggest, if Hannah agrees, that the next scene is perhaps like a sort of montage scene with us like running through the base as the other bodies sit up and start like chasing after us, all like mutated. You know, like maybe because there's like 6 of us left of this, but maybe a couple of them get like dragged down by him, leaving like only us 3 and one other person, and we're sort of like running through, like going, we need to get something to defend ourselves. That sort of scene.
Okay.
So as we're running through the like corridors, Chad goes, I know we've got some harpoon guns in the shed where we keep the snowmobiles. So maybe if we head over that way, and I think there's some flare guns in there as well. Maybe we can like defend ourselves against whatever the hell they are. Like as he's running down the corridor.
Right.
I'm following after you, going, I think we should call them Landstromicus.
I'd like to suggest at this point that like maybe your character, Dr. Landstrom, like stumbles and it looks like these creatures are going to get her. And obviously Chad's just like, every man for himself, he's just like pegging it. Whereas like your character actually stops to like help Landstrom up. So that could be a positive where you're like, maybe there is a bit more to like, Steve's got a bit more about him than I originally thought.
I'm going to say it's a positive outcome in the fact that Steve does manage to pull me from the grasping arms of a couple before slamming like the door in my face. But as he goes, he's up across. One of them just rakes your arm. I don't see that.
I like it.
Okay, excellent. Positive or negative?
It's positive. Steve, you saved me!
Who's the positive dice going to?
Well, since I've just clawed her with some like fucking horror, it's got to be Steve. Sorry, Steve. I have a positive.
Okay, so that was my scene, I believe. Set up or resolve?
I'd like to resolve.
Okay, bear in mind this is going to be the last scene before the...
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so Hannah wants to resolve, so what do you reckon then, John?
I just want to take a look at what cars we're actually... Right, I reckon this should take place in the Navy Electronics shop because that's where you've gone as like... Because you know those rooms.
Yeah, we've just all run there.
That's where we've run to.
Yeah.
There's
you
like...
know as well that's where there's like some of the weapons stores. It's not the main armoury. There's a few,
like I said, there's a few flare guns and
that
like,
you know
stuff
you
like
can
that.
access.
So we've gone there for a bit of like fucking support, get some weapons, and I think in this scene, I think we need to have a fundamental relationship breakdown over the fact you fucking left me, if I'm honest.
Okay, so how about, as my character runs in and he's like getting the flare guns out and like maybe a few harpoon guns and whatever, that's when your character like walks in, sees him just happily gathering stuff up as though like he didn't just like peg it and leave you to be like killed by one of these creatures. That's when you choose to like press the issue. So I'm gathering all the stuff.
What the fuck was that?
I'll actually be putting together a big emergency kit for each of you. I'm a quartermaster. I know what kind of shit you're going to need when you're out there.
What do you mean?
I may even have go bags ready for this kind of situation or something similar.
My character looked shocked. He's like, what do you mean what was that? We needed to get over and get out the weapons as quickly as possible.
You left me to die!
What can I have done against them things? You saw him.
You could have been a man like Steve and fucking stepped in and helped me!
Look, you showed us that stuff that said if we even got scratched by one of them, at which point I imagine the camera would like pan across to the little scratch on like Steve's arm that he's probably not even noticed yet.
A couple of beads of sweat.
At this point, Steve's going to be like this.
You said if we even got scratched by those things, that'd be it. You showed us those things.
But
I thought you were already gone. There was nothing I could do.
I thought you were a man.
Steve starts screaming.
Steve?
Steve?
Steve! Right. Restrain him!
Hold him down, Joe. Hold him down. To the other random person.
I'll put in 100 cc's of fucking morphine into you.
Just give me a grenade.
Okay, so at that point, that was your scene.
Yeah.
So we get to decide if it's positive or negative.
The resolution of this scene is going to be Steve is going to push
Or about to be
both
shot with a
of
flag
you
and Steve.
aside,
Pushes us aside.
grab a grenade, run out into the snow, and a moment later you'll hear a...
Okay, so positive or negative, Hannah?
I think that's fairly negative for Steve.
Okay.
I think it was pretty negative for Chad as well. Since
Yes.
Chad's not actually earned any dice yet.
Chad's not going to get no poontang now. Chad,
I think that's the least on his mind at the minute. Okay, so
Unfortunately, the various bits of Steve, as we go into the next stage,
yeah, we're going into
We'll
the
see.
tilt now.
you will see starting to wobble about and crawl around.
Okay, guys, pick up the dice that are in front of you with your cards. So those are your players. I've got
8 black.
8 black.
Two.
Okay.
White.
Two white. Okay, so
No, hang on. 8 white.
okay, so the 2 people with the highest, that's you two, obviously. You get to pick on. You get to choose the tilt table. Let's have a look at this. Roll the dice and review. We've done that. Okay, so we roll. I'll roll these dice in the centre, the unused ones. 2 of them will handily roll off the table.
4 and a...
5.
Okay, so you get to pick 2 things off the tilt table. 1 general, then defining it, and then Carvel gets to pick using those dice.
Okay. I think I'm going to go with Mayhem. A dangerous animal gets loose.
So which of those 2 have you used?
That's a 1 and a 3.
Pass over to Carvel. And you've got a 4, a 5, a 6 and a 1.
Paranoia. So this uses the 5 and the 4.
Mm-hmm.
A sudden reversal. We'll see how many people come save you when you're being grabbed by the fucking zombie monster, shall we?
So I've got an idea for that.
What, Chad starts breaking the sides out?
No. What I'm actually going to do, because I'm doing the next scene, is I'm going to set up a scene, and it's going to be a flashback scene to when you were rescuing Dr. Landstrom from those monsters. And I'm going to say what had actually happened that you guys hadn't seen is that sort of down another corridor that intersected, Chad had actually seen like one of the other bodies like coming down that corridor. So the reason he didn't actually save you is he stepped down there and basically like threw some stuff in the way of the corridor to like slow this thing down.
That's it.
And it's up to you guys to resolve it. So as the scene breaks in, you 2 are sort of off to the side. Chad looks down this other.
No, I'm blown.
There we go.
No, this is
flashback,
a flashback. As you're sort of like Steve's like picking up Dr. Landstrom and sort of punching this thing in the face, Chad's looked down this other passageway, seen another couple of these bodies like running down the corridor. So what he actually does, he looks to the side and there's one of those like wheeled trolleys you sort of see for pushing stuff around. So he like grabs hold of it and like pushes it down the corridor into these 2 things to like, and they clatter into it. But given the panic and this thing like screaming, you don't really hear it. Obviously, you guys get to determine positive or negative how it ends.
I think maybe
Bit of a sudden reversal of that nature.
a bit of a positive outcome on this, whereby Chad gets this long piece of broken wood, and just as the zombie scratches at him millimetres from his face, he stabs it through with this piece of wood, stabs that into the wall, and is able to pin it back out of his reach.
Okay, that's cool. So, since we're on the second bit, I get to keep the positive dice, and then it's on to Carvel to set up or resolve.
Can I also say that one thing you noticed at the time, just to maybe not get used, maybe food for later, I don't know. The zombie stroke thing in question was one of like the fucking security like patrol guard who has keys for like the whole of the base.
Yeah, you're able to get his keys and his
No,
phone.
no, you know where they are.
Okay, yep, that's all grand. So when I've like stabbed this thing and pushed it backwards, as it's fallen into the others, I've seen the keys on its belt, but I'm not risking like tangling with some others to like go and grab them keys. But I know where they are. And let's say he's the only one who's got the key to like the sort of hangar where the sort of like the snow vehicles are stored.
There's just the two of us left. We're going to flash forward like 2 days. We're sitting like, there'll be like 2 or 3 empty cans around us. We're in a locked room with no windows. There's a pervading smell of piss in the air from a bucket in the corner, because at least we've not been animalistic enough to just do it on the floor. We've been pissing in a corner. And for 2 days we've just been holed up here. And for the last 6 hours we've heard no sound whatsoever.
The generators are down, and the only light in the room is one of them little butane gas.
No, as we're sitting there, it goes. Ooh.
Yeah, right.
Maybe like the emergency lighting goes on, so it's all like red lit.
What's happened?
Oh, I think the main generators must be down. The emergency backups have kicked in. You can tell by the colour of the lights.
I thought we'd all just gone to hell.
At which point, Chad sort of like grabs hold of your arms and like shakes you, and he's like, "Come on, Doc, pull it together. You know I haven't got the smarts to like get us out of this."
I just wish Steve was here. I always loved Steve. Steve was smart and reliable.
At which point,
I
just
could have buffed him just once.
at which point, just trying to get your mind back on track. Chad's just like, "Well, maybe you should have told him that before." Hoping that like getting you a bit angry will just like get you back on track.
Well, maybe I should have done, but then maybe he'd be here instead of you. He'd know what to do. I'm just going to go in the corner, like weep a bit.
So I'd say that's a fairly negative end to a scene. What do
If
you
we
reckon?
end it there, John, I mean, you've only just tried to tempt me to action.
No, but we technically get to decide whether it becomes negative or positive, then we can play out the rest if you want. I'd say we're looking at a negative ending at the minute. Although, actually, I could say we could go for a positive. Maybe like Steve isn't dead.
Steve blew himself up. I described
No,
tiny
he didn't.
pieces.
He didn't. You said he ran off into the snow and we heard an explosion.
No, I then described little tiny pieces of Steve crawling around. Steve maybe knocking on the door.
Oh yeah, okay. So at that point we were a loud knock.
What's that?
Hey, who's out there? I think that's probably a good place to end that soon. With the like, boom, boom, boom. Positive or negative? I'd say negative.
And I'd say...
You get to keep it because it's the second half of the game.
All right, nice.
Okay, so it's your scene.
Okay. So I want to flash back to those crawling bits of exploded Steve.
Good.
As they slowly re-amalgamate into something that vaguely represents what he once looked like. What bits of clothing that remained like on his body when it blew up are still there, but he's made no effort to repair the clothing. That's unaffected by the virus. The rest of him's sort of misshapenly stitched together as he sort of limps and crawls slowly along, chasing after the only thing he's chased after the whole time he's been in the Arctic. Find Hilda. And he crawls to the door.
See, I was going to suggest, since we're like resolving John, I was going to suggest actually like, a positive outcome, because maybe like the fact that he's so like focused on Dr. like Landstrom has allowed like some part of his like psyche to survive the experience.
Yeah. So there's like part of the scene, and it's just never explained at the time. It's one of those things that's left like the audience's discretion as to whether or not they believe that's what played out. For some reason, the shambling thing just stops, and that one trapped like at the end of a stick led from underneath the gurney, he just bends down and picks up those aforementioned keys. sort of looks at them and just like shambles off.
Okay, so positive goes to Hannah, and it's on to me, and I'm going to say I'd like to resolve the scene. So it's up to you guys to set it up. We've got 3 scenes left, but I'm assuming at some point we're going to try and make a break for the keys.
And we need a flashback scene. And what we need in this flashback scene is it's when we first all arrive at the base. We actually meet for the first time. And you have taken a like to me and decided to like show me round the base.
I see this being a scene where we're at some sort of a welcome party for the new group of people. And while you're in the middle of the room, 6 guys stood around you all smiling. Chad's there, he's the one that's caught your eye. I'm standing in the corner, slowly nursing a single whiskey and seething at all these handsome guys.
I was thinking, just for the purposes of plot, after that, that's fine as a bit of background, you decided to try and get me on my own, give me a tour of the base. And you showed me where this like big like fucking generator is, and it's like if it overloads, you tell me, oh, there's nothing to worry about, but if ever it overloads, it'd like blow up a huge hole and this whole base would fall into the ice, fall into the water. And that's where Chad's like working, and that's where I first like.
Okay, so we're basically saying for that scene, Steve Goldstein's given Dr. Landstrom a tour around the base. It ends with them in the generator room where Chad's working, and Steve's saying that if this blew up, there's nothing to worry about, but if it blew up, it'd basically drop the base,
entire base
into the
Arctic Sea.
Yeah. And you're sort of half listening, but really you're sort of like checking out Chad, who's like working on the machine.
Yeah, if this house ever... What? Sorry, Lieutenant, was it? That's a scene. I like that.
I think we've pretty much done the scene there.
Is that a negative or a positive, John?
I think it's fairly positive.
I'd say it's a positive because you found out some important information.
Hey, you get a positive dice there, John, don't you?
So
And it's your turn.
So,
2 more scenes left.
I'd like to propose a scene. We're making a break for it. That knock on the door happened like hours ago, about 5 hours ago. We knew nothing since. And then we're finally opening the door to make a break for it. But just standing patiently, like in the doorway, is the shambling Steve.
Holding the keys.
I'm not necessarily saying holding the keys out. Sort of, they're just in your hand. And you sort of.
I like maybe we step out the door. And he's not immediately outside the door, but as you sort of peek your head out, you hear like a of like metal falling to the floor. And as you look around, sort of like to your left, like shambling Steve stood there, and like the keys have just like dropped out of his damaged hands.
Steve, and you go keys. Steve goes.
Because see, I'm imagining that like you'll be like, oh Steve, and then like Chad's like, oh. He sort of like throws the keys to you, and he's like, oh, we've got to make a break for it, because he's like, oh, it's one of these monsters. And maybe he has been feeling a bit guilty over the time you spent together about the fact he didn't try and help you out. He knew that he was just trying to stop some like other creatures from getting to you, but like he's actually sort of like feeling a bit guilty that the doctor's like,
I've nagged him into it. I understand.
The doctor thinks that he sort of like tried to abandon them. And it's like it's keeping her focused. He doesn't want to correct her, but like the sort of jive she's been doing over the last few hours, I've actually started to needle at him a bit.
Alright.
Okay, so as we turn around and we see like Steve there, keys on the floor next to him. Chad like dives forward, like grabs the keys and sort of turning round in one motion, throws them to the doctor, and he's like, "Doc, run! Make for the main depot. There's a snowmobile in there.
I would like
it's the big key."
To then
Kill.
gesture
Check.
at the shed opposite B165, which is B263. And in shed B263, whose gates have been left open in all the panic, you can see behind the drift of snow a snowmobile that might just allow them to get out in time. Chad, being a mechanic, knows exactly what that is and how it works.
So, see, I'm going to counter there by suggesting that, like,
Chad dies.
I'm going to counter by saying that Zombie Steve like gestures towards the thing, as you've said, and like the doctor sees it and like immediately starts like pegging it towards the shed that's been indicated, whereas like Chad doesn't see it. He sees the hand come up and thinks like the zombie's like about to attack him, so of course he does what he thinks is the best, and he sort of starts tussling with the zombie creature, going like, "Run, dog, run!"
Okay, so is that a negative outcome?
Well, I think we need to just finish the scene off. I think like they should tussle, and he's like, "No, no, you can't have her." And Steve just like for a moment goes, "I always did."
Yeah, I like that. So he's sort of like that as I'm like being strangled by Zombie Steve. I think that's where that scene finishes. I'd say to be honest, that's
positive.
a positive scene, because like the doctor's going to get away.
You're just steering it, so I have to give the last one a negative outcome, aren't you?
No, because the last one could be positive or negative.
Okay.
You just.
Although actually, no, I can see a point, because negative because like
You've died.
I've died. You're as good as dead.
I died. Go on.
So, right, yeah.
I'll have a negative.
And your attempted redemption of Steve
And
was
it's
somewhat destroyed by the
And it's your final scene, love.
murder rating.
It can be positive or negative.
Yeah, because it ultimately, it was ultimately he's still a zombie. He's still like slave to that. He's redeemed himself by being like resisting enough, long enough to like get the keys to them, so she can escape. But faced with like this nemesis Ched, who's been like fucking the bird that he wanted to fuck for so long. Perhaps a zombie killed him. Perhaps Steve killed him.
We'll never know.
Okay, so
Set up or resolve.
we'll resolve.
Okay, now I reckon, John, we have like a scene of the doctor like looking back. She sees like Chad getting strangled by Zombie Steve. Realises there's nothing she can do and like whips it away on the snowmobile using like the keys.
No, see, I think she gets to the snowmobile only for it to be out of fuel, which means she can't make an attempted escape across the snow.
Okay, yes.
Steve Goldstein was a very well organised lieutenant. There's fuel in there. Steve Goldstein did his job well.
I don't doubt Steve Goldstein did his job well, but I'm just saying.
Oh, well, you get to set up the scene. So if you're setting it up to say,
no, she doesn't. She gets to resolve it.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so if we say there's no fuel in it,
because I say because Goldstein, I reckon, is a good quartermaster. I absolutely agree with you. I'm not besmirching his good name, but he's not going to go around filling up every fucking. Could have had a scene right at the start where somebody brought back in a snowmobile and said, "Oh, I was going to get some tea first." And they were like one of the first tokens to die.
Okay.
By not having any fuel, forces it up.
Oh, I'll tell you what, maybe that scene we were talking about at the start when you were being shown around the facility and you were taken to the generator room and you saw like Chad and you caught his eye. Maybe like Chad noticed you and he actually like knocked off early to go and knock off the doctor, and he was supposed to be killing all the snowmobiles, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll get round to it later."
So ultimately, it's Chad's fault.
Yeah.
Harsh.
Okay, so as the doctor runs across the snowmobile, she looks back, sees Chad getting like choked to death, jumps on the snowmobile, turns the key, and it goes, brrr, and the fuel gauge is on empty.
Obviously, there'll be a couple more frustrating attempts because I can't read a fuel gauge. And then
obviously has the choice of either running up to the generator and smashing up the roots, smashing up the generator.
Well, you get to resolve, so.
Destroyed,
or taking up a life with Zombie Steve.
or trying to make it away on foot.
How does it resolve?
She's not going to make it away on foot. Cut to small team of faces we've never seen before in a helicopter flying over what remains
A maple wolf running in the distance.
of the Navy base at wherever it was, Mactown, the scientific naval base. What remains of it is a hole in the ice.
Okay, so you get the final dice then, love. And then we move on to the aftermath.
Oh, she's just giving more dice than anybody else. That's how that's worked.
Yeah. So roll your dice and do the subtraction as you did previously. Oh, wicked. I'm on 6 whites.
I'm on 12 black.
No, that's good. Any number that's high is good.
I'm on 15 white.
Okay, I'm just on the aftermath table. Okay, so what are you on, John?
6, 7, 12 black.
Okay, so we'll start with me because I'm only on 6 black. And then we'll work our way up to the higher ones. Okay, 6 black, pathetic. You'll suffer, oh dear God, you'll suffer, and everyone will know of your stupidity, lack of common sense and decency. So, I'm going to say that as Chad's sort of like dying and being like strangled by this like creature that looks a bit like Steve, he looks across and he sees like the woman that he slowly started to develop feelings for and who he's known for quite some time, climbing the snowmobile, and he's like, oh, at least I did one thing right. At least the doctor's managed to escape. And if she turned the keys, then like it fails. He flashes back to that moment where he's like knocking off early so we can go and knock boots, and he just remembers like, oh shit, I never did get round to like refueling that. And then he slumps to the ice dead.
Nice.
So what did you get, John?
5, 6, 12 black.
12 black, pretty good. All things considered, you're coming out of this smelling like a rose. You're a little better off. Maybe you got the girl, or maybe you just didn't get caught.
So, and then just like on the corner of the ice, like there's a little huddle of blankets, like pale skin, frost like on my face. A bit like that photo you've seen in Aliens where the light sort of plays over, then the hand comes over. No, at the end, after the credits, there's a scene of me like doing like a lecture tour on like the missing link, Landstromicus.
Nice. Okay, and what did you get?
15 white.
15 white. Fan-fucking-tastic. It's fat times ahead, safe and secure. That thing that would make your life better. Oh, you got it, absolutely, and then some. And then some more.
Okay, so pan out from that as Dr. Landstrom finishes her lecture and goes home
To the shed.
to the shambling mess that is Steve, making a cup of tea for her and asking her how her day was, honey.
On your sweet, on the cheek.
And that's where we end.
Cool. Quality. You know, that age-old story.
Fucking tacked on comedy at the end.
Boy meets girl, girl falls in love with dirty mechanic, boy pines after girl constantly, boy becomes thing, thing kills mechanic.
Thing marries woman. How many times have we heard that classic tale?
Fitting.
So how did you think that went the second time, guys?
It was quite a harrowing tale, really. Again, we do seem to have a penchant for the darker side of the
I
trap.
think perhaps next time
The game is slanted to do that sort of thing, though.
I think perhaps next time we ought to set an overall tone for the story.
Well, next time we ought to try and all live.
Be it sitcom.
That's the fun in that, John. You can't have like a film where like everyone lives. It's like a Fiasco sort of like catastrophe film.
I feel left out. No, I have died. What am I saying?
Yeah, you died in the first one.
I'm still swinging through a tree.
Better than I ever did.
I liked it. I liked the format of
It's a
it.
game.
I think you could just quite easily generate your own ones.
Oh yeah, well that's the idea. It's supposed to be a game that's expandable. So when you've used these play sets, there's more available and there's guidelines for like doing your own. Like say, it wouldn't be difficult. All you've got to do is come up with a few tables. The tilt table and the aftermath is always the same. So all you've got to do is come up with like the starting tables for whatever you want. That'd be fairly easy to do.
I might have a go at making one then.
Yeah, go for it, man. That'd be cool.
Give it a go next time.
I think for a game that, I mean, how long have we been playing the second game for?
That second game was an hour and 15 minutes.
So there you go. So we just by like knowing the rules and what we were doing, we've shaved like half an hour to an hour off it. So we've had like an enjoyable like, hours worth of entertainment, and all we've really needed was like a load of D6 and some cards to write stuff on.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
I liked it, yeah. They were all cooker. It's one of those things, I think. So obviously, if you had more players,
It'd
Yeah, 'cause you
take
get-
a lot longer because everybody would
But-
have more turns.
But and you get more dice for people.
I assume you have one dice for each other player in the game.
What was it we did at the start? We had
We had 2 dice. Sorry, we had 4.
it's
dice
4
per player,
dice
so
per player,
It's 2.
so you get an extra 4 for each extra player.
Right, okay, so there's always.
There's always roughly the same amount of stuff that goes on.
Yeah.
You've just got more sort of like relationships, more things potentially, more.
More locations.
Yeah.